What's up, everybody? My name is Amy, and this is the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. Get your wave and you're sitting on top of the What's up, everybody? My name is Amy, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. I'm coming to you from the backwoods of Arkansas, way out in the sticks. I have a weekly podcast on Spotify and Anchor. If you would like to follow me on Spotify and Anchor, just search the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. I'm trying to start putting some things on YouTube. I haven't gone live yet because I don't have enough viewers yet to go live. So, but if you are interested in true crime, you love true crime, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you and love to chat. I want to talk about the final report from the FBI in the Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie case. As you all know, the FBI released its final report on the murder-suicide of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, and I was watching Ashley Banfield, and I was just kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's hard to explain. She was talking with Brian Enton, and she expressed how dissatisfied she was with the FBI's final report. Well, how much more satisfied do you need to be? There are two young people dead. Tragically, lives lost in a murder-suicide. And I don't know how much more you want from that. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that Brian didn't, stand trial and all that, but I mean, I just don't know what more people want out of this case. These are two young people who were in love. I have no doubt in my mind they were in love. And their lives are tragically gone. in the notebook, the Brian did take responsibility for killing Gabby. But the FBI did not release the full content of what he wrote, which is, I mean, I get it. I'd kind of like to know too myself, but curiosity killed the cat. But you got to think, what Brian wrote in that notebook was his last thoughts before he took his own life. He admitted that he was responsible, and we should be grateful that the FBI at least gave us that much information. Would I like to know what exactly he said in the notebook? Well, sure. We all would, but I'm fine with just knowing that, yes, he did take responsibility for killing Gabby, and that's it. And he paid for it with his own life. So I just don't know what more anybody wants. And she was talking about motive. Well, there is no motive in this. It's a case of domestic violence. They had a volatile relationship. And, from what I have gotten out of the whole thing is that day that they had the scene at the restaurant, and they were coming home, and then they were going back to the Grand Tetons, and I think their argument from the restaurant where Brian was allegedly hostile with the staff just escalated. We don't know if Gabby and Brian were known to take their tent and kind of go off away from the van and camp out without having seen the scene in person. I wouldn't be able to tell you if they set up their tent or not. If I were there, I would look for holes in the ground for a tent that are made, because you have those stakes that you have to stake a tent down, and I would look for those. But I mean, I don't think it really matters. I just fully believe that maybe they went for a hike off away from the van, or maybe one or the other walked off without the other, and the other one followed, and an argument ensued, and Brian did what he did. In this final FBI report, there was something else that was said that we didn't know before. Not only did she die from manual strangulation, she died from blunt force trauma. So, I've been there. I've been in a very volatile domestic violence relationship, and I have, no doubt in my mind that he just completely lost his cool and did what he did. There is no motive. There's no exact reason why Brian did this. and it seems like in the beginning he was going to try and deceive the police and deceive her parents or whatever, and get back home. And once he got back home to Florida, and her parents kept pursuing, wanting to know where their daughter was. And once she was officially reported missing, and they found Brian there at his house in her van with her stuff and her credit cards, that was it. He knew he was a goner. And so, he just apparently couldn't live with what he had done, and he went out to the Macahatchee Creek Carlton Reserve and wrote and told what he did, and then took his own life. I just don't know what more people want from this case. What people need from this case, though, is to learn the signs of domestic violence, and to learn the signs of someone in a domestic violence relationship, and get out. Get out. Because if they hit you once, they'll hit you again. They'll say, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. But they will. And the violence only escalates. It might start with a little cussing and shoving and pushing and you're a piece of shit and I hate you, and and it just escalates from there. Trust me, I know. And another thing is, life's too short. Gabby and Brian were 22 and 23 years old. And life is too short to live like that, to be in a relationship like that. Even though you love somebody, you just have to walk away. Because you certainly don't want to end up like Gabby. And another thing that everybody's wondering and wanting, is prosecuting the Laundrie family, prosecuting Brian's parents. It's not going to do any good. Prosecuting Chris and Roberta Laundrie is not going to bring Gabby back. And it's not going to bring her any justice. They are Brian's parents, and they did what they did to protect their son. And as a mother myself, as a parent, I can understand that. You're going to protect your kids. And that's exactly what they did. They protected their son. And they ended up losing their son too. The Petito Schmidt family lost their daughter, and the Laundrie family lost their son. So I don't see what purpose it would fulfill to prosecute Chris and Roberta Laundrie. It's just going to pour more salt on the wound. And now that this is all pretty much officially closed, the investigation is over with, Gabby's parents are getting her belongings back from the Laundrie family. The families just need, go their separate ways and try to begin to deal with the loss of their children and heal. It's just not going to do any good to prosecute his, they're like 60 years old. What is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. This is just a sad situation all the way around. It's the biggest thing that can come out of this and is just learning about domestic violence and learning the signs of a domestic violence relationship and getting out of it. That's just really all there is to it. I also want to talk for a minute about the Summer Wells case. Summer Wells is the little 5-year-old girl missing in Rogersville, Tennessee. What's going on YouTube amongst the creators is just downright sickening. It's disgusting and it's sickening that people are tearing down each other and bashing each other and just content that I can't believe it YouTube even allows. All in the name of Summer Wells. All in the name of this little 5-year-old innocent, missing, possibly dead girl. None of you are any better than the other one. Every one of y'all's YouTube channels are monetized and you're all making money. So this bashing about, oh, so-and-so's making money off Summer Wells' name, bullshit. You are too. You're making money off trashing people. And it's ridiculous. It seems like everybody's forgotten that it's been 7 months and there is no trace of that child. And her parents are out here on YouTube channels and stuff, and they're either drunk or high or whatever, and and they're talking trash too about people that have come to Tennessee and, wanted to try to do something or try to help. Frankly, it's time for them to be taken in the back room and told how the cow ate the cabbage and start telling the truth. Because I don't believe for 1 minute that child was abducted. I believe her parents know right where she's at. And I don't believe she's with us anymore. So, until they decide to, tell the truth about their daughter, or, Hawkins County and TBI does something about it, or heaven forbid, find a whole suspect we don't know nothing about, or find out that she really was abducted, or they find her remains or whatever, then sadly, there's just nothing else to talk about regarding Summer. And that's sad. That's very, very sad because, we talk about cases going cold, and we don't want cases to go cold. But I feel like this case was cold from the very get-go. And, my heart breaks for that little girl. It truly breaks for that little girl. And I just wish that somebody would start telling the truth about where that child is. Anyway, but you know, I don't want any part of the YouTube drama between creators. I done been there and done that 2 years ago on Facebook. I don't know what it is about the true crime community and the web sleuthers that people think they have some kind of ownership over a case. That's ridiculous. If anybody has ownership of a case, it's the police department that's in charge of it. You know, there's no web sleuther or no Facebook group or whatever that has any kind of ownership over a case. That's ridiculous. So, you know, that's why I just, I'm a lone wolf and I do my own thing and talk about, you know, true crime cases. I've been doing this since the late 80s and early 90s. Long before there was YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or any of that stuff. And, you know, it's just this drama, this social media drama is insane. It is truly insane. And grow up, people. Grow up. We've got a 5-year-old child missing. We've got cold cases that need to be solved. And we as web sleuthers are capable of solving crimes that the police can't solve. You know, had it not been for the YouTube channel Red, White, and Buffoon, we may still be looking for Gabby. You know? But thank God that those people, bloggers, whatever you want to call them, you know, had that footage and came forward. And they were able to find Gabby. It's sooner than later. So, all this fighting and shit back and forth is just completely ridiculous. Oh, but anyway, I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm just, you know, these cases are just heartbreaking. They're absolutely heartbreaking. And I just wish all the best to the Petito family, the Schmidt family, and even the Laundrie family. You know, that they begin to heal and deal with their losses and move forward. And, you know, I hope something turns up in the Summer Wells case, because that poor little girl, I don't want to be reporting on her 25 years from now like I've reported on Morgan Nick, who went missing from an Alma ballpark here in Arkansas in 1995. You know, I hope we're not still talking about Summer Wells 25 years from now. Let's get on the ball. Let's find that child. Let's start talking. Let's start telling the truth. Hawkins County, TBI, get off your ass and do something. Because this is just gone on long enough. But anyway, like I said, if you like my channel, I hope you'll subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Spotify and Anchor for my weekly podcast. And it's also titled the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. All you got to do is search it. Everyone take care, and please be the change you wish to see in this world. As Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Good night, everyone. Peace out.